I've been a part of a musical group in the past. I was in a group called the EXED Gospel Singers. And that group we really did a lot of moving around the island, and we even traveled outside of Jamaica. I tell people that when I did 100 meters in high school, I did about 17.8. So that was the close of my track career. I'm Evan Thompson, Principal Director of the Meteorological Services branch in the Ministry of Water, Environment and Climate Change.
Okay, Evan, so most Jamaicans know you as the calm and reassuring voice on TV whenever there's like a serious weather forecast. Okay. How would you describe yourself outside of that public persona?
I think what you see in the public is what you see in the private. I think I am just who I am. Yeah. I think I'm reflected in the same way everywhere. I do get kind of excited and animated when, it's an interesting topic or something that I'm passionate about. However, especially when the situation demands it, sometimes you need to be a reassuring voice. And so that it comes naturally because I adapt to the situation and the context.
Yeah, is it the same at home?
I think so. I have two sons. I don't think they hear me shouting at them too often, but occasionally I do have to do that. And, I think I'm more or less on I won't say quiet side, but I am not a loud person at all.
Yeah. Have you seen where like any of your sons are willing to follow in your footsteps?
You mean in terms of career or you mean or character? In terms of career, interestingly, yes. The older one has chosen to go he's really thinking engineering right now, but the physics and the maths are very dear to him. He's very interested in doing those, and that was me as well. Physics and maths, that's where meteorology is based. And the younger son is actually looking towards being an architect, and that was actually what I wanted to do as well before I dropped into meteorology. So I was really trying to pursue architecture initially, and then it switched. When I moved away from the architecture, I actually heard someone who was actually at the time the director of the Meteorological Service here, who visited my school to do a career talk. And I heard about meteorology, and I think there was a spark of interest there from then. Again, that was during the latter part of high school. And I tended to just gravitate towards that at that time and just pursued it. Since then, from fifth form in high school, going right through community college. I went to EXED Community College, pursued the math and the physics because that's really where the base of meteorology is, and then moved on to university to pursue the meteorology.
Which university was that?
That's University of the West Indies, but the Cave Hill campus. So I had to leave Jamaica to pursue that in Barbados. Yes, I started in 1988, just before Hurricane Gilbert hit Jamaica.
Nice. Wow, that's a very exciting start.
Yes, it was actually, because I was just there on the 1st of September. I started working. The hurricane hit us on the 12th. Yeah. And I remember the morning of the hurricane that I was at home wondering if I was to go to work because I knew this thing was threatening. And the bus came, the van came and picked me up and said, of course you're going to work. And I had to work right through the hurricane out at the airport at the National Meteorological Center, which is at Norman Manley International. And so I rode it through, and ever since then I've spent my hurricanes working. I've not been so privileged to be at home with family during a hurricane because I've always had to be on the job. I think they have gotten used to it because actually in this latest episode with Melissa approaching the island, my sons basically just expected me to leave and go to the office and spend a couple of days there. But they said, this time, because we heard how terrible this thing was going to be, if you are going, we are coming with you. and if otherwise, you better know you're staying this time, because they thought, the risk was much greater for them. I assured them that we would have been okay. But for the first time, I was able to actually spend a lot more time at home, and then I would commute to the National Emergency Operations Center for press conferences. Now people say that they only see me when it's really serious, and that's true, because there are so many other persons who are working behind the scenes generally, but they take charge of a lot of the things. In my day-to-day, as you asked, it's really the administration of the Meteorological Service. It's not what I love most, administration, but it's part of the job. It's something that I have to do. But then it's less and less of the operational and more of the administrative and the managerial, and occasionally having to jump in and do the operations from time to time. When I get out of the office, I like to interact with a lot of other people. Of course, my family is front and center. I have a wife and 2 children. And then I have a lot of friends that I want to keep in touch with. I love music. I don't play any instruments really, but I'm a lover of music, and I get involved with musical groups sometimes. I've been a part of a musical group in the past, and so I do some other things. I like to just relax.
Evan, I think you have to tell me about that musical group. Tell me about it. What was the genre? What was the setup?
Well, it started way back. I mean, from way back in community college, after high school and going into, call it 6th form. At that time, I was in a group called the EXED Gospel Singers. And that group we really did a lot of moving around the island, and we even traveled outside of Jamaica, and close-knit group. In fact, we are still together now, and that was since 1981 or somewhere there. And I said we're together, meaning that we are in contact with each other. We're not singing together. Since then, I've also, while I was on campus, I was with the Cavite Chorale, which was, and this is voice, this is music in terms of vocal music. I sang, and I still sing sometimes. So I was with the Cavite Chorale, which is kind of the equivalent of the university singers here at Mona. And then after that, I have been involved with a group called Chords, which is a vocal ensemble as well, that we would come together. Gospel is really what I was interested in. I've always been involved in my church, and I'm a Christian, so that is part of who I am. And so the Chords Chorale or ensemble was part of my growth. And then in my church, I've been involved in the praise team. Actually, I'm the leader of the praise team, and we meet regularly, and I've had that group going since the beginning of this millennium, since 2000. So for the past 25 years or so, we've been together as a praise team. Yeah.
See, a lot of people did not know that you could sing, Evan.
Yeah, I do some singing.
That is awesome. Yeah. So you still sing at church on the praise team?
I do, yeah, sing on the praise team. Yeah, that's one of the things that I do regularly, and of course, occasionally with the choir, which is a separate group, but yeah, with the praise team. Awesome. And small groups sometimes. I'm not a sports person in terms of me personally being involved in sports. So the football and the cricket and the track and field, I love them. In fact, I consider myself a track and field enthusiast, but I don't run. I mean, I tell people that when I did 100 meters in high school, I did about 17.8. So that was the close of my track career. And so my games are really like board games, and those kind of word games I love. I love the Scrabble and the Boggle and things like those. So that's what I like to do. I mean, we spend time doing that sometimes at home.
So I have a random question for you. Tell us a random fun fact about the weather that not many people know.
Okay. I'm going to tell you about something that happened when I was working as a forecaster. I spent a few years as a forecaster on the bench, meaning at the airport doing forecasts on rotation. And I remember the radar was not working at the time, and we took it on ourselves that we would, to find out exactly, just to confirm some of what we saw, what we forecasted, what we expected to be happening, we would call around at different places. But we chose to call, because it's a 24-hour service, we chose to call police stations. So we said we just call some of the police stations, find out, is it raining in your area, what is happening? Especially if you expected it to and you want to make sure that it was happening. And I remember calling one police station one night and saying, I asked them, what is happening in terms of the weather there? And the police woman, she was a bit excited, and she said, "Why, the rain did a tear a while ago, but right now it just drew in. And I say, oh my gosh, the words that, I mean, I didn't say this to her, but I thought the words that Jamaicans use to describe the weather, I would never say that in a forecast. I would never say it went tear tonight. I would say you'd get heavy rainfall or, heavy showers. But then, and then when she said it's dewing now, I said, dew doesn't fall from the clouds. Dew forms on the object on the ground, only because of the difference in the temperatures. So I said, when she's saying it's dewing now, what she means is that it's a very light rain or a slight rain or light showers. So, sometimes the words we use, there are some words the meteorologists will never use, and sometimes we use them, but we use them in different ways. So like for showers and rain, they are two completely different things to us because they come from different types of clouds. But for everybody else, it's just rain, But so, that I find to be really interesting. Jamaicans are very colorful and very interesting in the first place. And so how they describe the weather is really very interesting.
There was this discourse a few weeks back about drizzle, and if drizzle exists.
Yes, because that's another term that we don't use. We don't use drizzle in our forecast because from our perspective, drizzle does not occur in Jamaica. It falls from a particular type of cloud and it forms under certain kinds of conditions. We don't have those generally here. And so we would talk about slight rain because it's falling from a sheet type cloud, or light showers because it's coming from a cumuliform cloud, which is like cumulus clouds. So those are the terms we would use, and we might say very light, but we won't call it drizzle. It's not a term you'll ever see in our forecast because in our mind it does not happen in Jamaica. The clouds do not form because our tropical climate won't allow it.